What's up, y'all? I've got some good news for you today. We have Aaron Casillo in the house, and this man has transitioned from being a Marine into tech sales, landing a fully remote tech sales role. And he's here to tell us about his journey. So, Aaron, welcome, man. Thanks for being here.
Hey, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, man. So, let's kick it off with tell us about life before joining Swords. Like, what were you doing? Why did you want to get into tech sales? Did you have trouble applying places? Tell us all about before.
yeah, so before I was actually already looking into tech sales, and while I was in my initial training pipeline for the Marine Corps, I was already applying to jobs and trying to interview with just certain companies that had military people already working there, and just trying to leverage those connections that I had, but I always got weeded out maybe after that initial screening, or it would be the second round with the sales manager. Just getting weeded out from there just because of lack of experience, and also just having better candidates in their hands.
Was that pretty frustrating for you? Like, you've got the connections, you're getting in, but you're not actually progressing to final round offers. Like, what was your headspace?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating. I thought that I was actually doing enough, but going into the program and just seeing the steps that you need to take to go above and beyond, to actually even get in front of these managers is actually pretty eye opening. And yeah, like I said before, I thought that I was already doing enough, just calling these people, or at the time it was actually just LinkedIn. I was just reaching out to people through LinkedIn, and then just asking for their numbers through there, and kind of seeing if they're open to talk to me. And I thought that was enough. I thought that you know these managers will look at me and be like, oh wow, he's reaching out to these people and talking to them, which is also a critical part of the job hunt, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can work hard all day. That's good. You need to work hard, but you can work smart while you're working hard.
Yeah,
Right. And so I think some of the program gave you that framework, that structure to do that efficiently. And now you're here, man. You landed the tech sales role with a
yeah,
great company, fully remote. Can you kind
yeah.
of paint the picture now about life after joining Sword? Like, what impact does this have for you and your wife? What is working remote going to do for your future, getting into tech? Like, what is kind of the after?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is, with this job market, it's really tough. So kind of just landing this initial role for me to get into tech sales is already huge in itself. But on a personal kind of basis, it's huge for me. And just because the only thing that I had going for myself at the moment was this job search, and also being in the reserves for the military. So there's no actual source of income, and no actual reliable source of income, that is. So it's huge for me, and just my future, and my partner and I's future moving forward, just because it kind of sets us up for a strong kind of financial foundation to be able to kind of grow together and grow our family.
Let's go. Generational impact right there, man. So way to
Yeah.
put in the work, way to get here. Tell me why you picked Sword. There's a lot of boot camps out there. There's other people that are coaching people. What was it about Sword specifically that you felt peace about? You felt confident in?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with that one is it just had to be actually my trust in you. Um, there are other boot camps out there that I was definitely looking into. Even when we were kind of discussing on what the program was like, and also kind of the pricing and this and that about the program, I was like, hey, what's the difference between you coaching me and these other boot camps out there? And the one thing that you told me was, hey, I get people jobs. And so Another thing too is just that relationship that you built with me right away made it really easy to trust you, and I saw that you had a very strong like Christian foundation and beliefs. So, I was initially thinking like, hey, is this guy like trying to scam me, or is he just trying to, take my money? But it was really easy to trust you and really easy to kind of put my faith in this job search. And even from day one when we actually started, you were very involved, excited for me, and yeah, it was just really easy to trust you in that aspect.
Honored, man. That's all super kind, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have earned that trust. And seeing you on the other side is like what makes it all worth it, right? There are a lot of people I talk to in calls, just like you and I had a one-on-one. Hey, here's the game plan. Here's how we're going to do this, and they know they want tech sales. They're driven to do it, but they're unable to make that investment in themselves, and they're unable to ultimately invest in Sword. What would
Yeah,
you tell those people that are on the fence? Because it kind of sounds like you were on the fence for a hot minute there as well.
yeah. First thing I'd say is definitely do it. You know, just one of my favorite sayings as of recently is the proof is in the pudding, and definitely I was kind of on the fence about it just because of, first that trust, second is that financial aspect, and the return of investment that you get is really priceless, just with the content that you're getting, the coaching that you're getting, and most importantly, I mean, the friendship between you and I is really really like priceless to me, and just constantly checking up on your clients and your people is something that kind of always kept me going when I was at a low point in this job search.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was so fun getting to work with you because I know your background and kind of your ingredients, especially like having gone through the military, having served our country, all the discipline, the mindsets, and just to see you navigate hardship it inspired me, man. Cause yeah, there were some really disappointing moments, but I think people need to realize in this job search, there will be disappointing moments. Like
Yeah,
you
definitely.
really want this job and you're waiting on this company to get back. And if they would just offer you the job, life is perfect after that. But
Yeah,
it's so much harder than that, and it takes a really dialed in, disciplined client like you to go, "Hey, this sucks, but I'm gonna embrace the suck and I'm gonna keep going." So,
yeah,
man, it was a pleasure getting to see you react to some of that stuff.
yeah, and it was really great too that you kind of not only gave me that perspective in the job search, just because in the job in itself, you're gonna face a lot of rejections. And I remember one time you told me when I was waiting to hear back from a company, you were like, "Oh, we got to keep building pipeline because, once you get this job or once you're doing this job, you can't rely on that one client to kind of, get you through that quota." And it's just constantly building that pipeline, and also the perspective that you gave me and kind of just trusting God's timing for everything. That was a huge one for myself, just because there are a lot of companies that I felt like I should have gotten the offer, just because I put in so much work into actually getting in front of these people, and even throughout the interview process, we have our steps that we take in order to kind of put our best foot forward. And I feel like no other candidate or applicant is doing what we're doing, but ultimately just trusting God's timing and also trusting God's will for your life. Just putting
Yeah.
you and trusting that you'll be in the right place at the right time.
That's what I love the most about working with other believers. It's that we know what the Bible says. If we commit our ways to the Lord, He'll make our paths straight. So
Yeah,
I love being able to lean on that as a coach and be like, hey, this door might close. This job that you're really hoping for, you just finished up an interview cycle with, you really want the offer. If that door doesn't open, then we can just trust that God is redirecting you to another company. And
yeah,
he had to redirect you a few times to get you to where you're at now. But I don't
mhm,
think there's a better fit for where you are now to
definitely.
build your foundation in sales and all of that. You mentioned a lot of like the coaching, the friendship even, but specific to the coaching, what's something about my coaching style that you feel like really stuck out to you?
The one that really stuck out to me is that it was less, well, for myself, I saw it more of like a personal kind of, it was more of a personal level, friendship level. And it's not like a coach just telling you, hey, you need to do this, this, and that. It was the constant check ins, it was the random texts at night, just checking in how you're doing. So that's really what stuck out to me, just because you could really tell that you care for your clients and you care for their success as well.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for again the opportunity to work with you, man. There's a lot of people out there that are frustrated like you are at
Yeah.
their job search. Things aren't going well. What's one thing you learned in the sword program? Like one piece of advice almost that you could give them that if they would just do that they would actually see some quicker results.
For me, it's just actually following the steps. There are some things, in the program that you might not be comfortable with. And for myself, it was making those intro videos or just videos in general. But just being comfortable, being uncomfortable will really get you to grow and kind of start separating yourself from the other applicants. So that's kind of one piece of advice that I would give to those other people out there.
It's always the videos, man. Like every single client is like, "Oh, I hated doing the videos, but then I got over it and now it's great." And you were one of those clients. I totally remember that. That was hilarious. You look great on camera, man. You sound great. You're destined for Hollywood, or something like that. I don't know. Cool,
Appreciate
man.
that.
Last question I have for you is outside of landing this fully remote tech sales role, great company, what's something that you're really proud of that you feel like we achieved together?
Something that I'm really proud of that we kind of achieved together is just kind of you know, growing from day one to where I am now. I I kind of, see the other people in your program, other clients in your program that are landing jobs, a lot quicker than I am. And I end up feeling some type of way just because I'm like, hey, I feel like, I should be landing a job at that time frame just because, we're doing the same steps. We're kind of reaching out to almost the same people, but just that growth of, hey, we're not, we all have a different pace. We all have different timing for this job search. And maybe it's things that we don't know about, but I think that growth from day one to where I am now, and seeing that time frame, and seeing that, hey, this wasn't for you because you needed some more time to grow, or you needed to learn this and that before you actually get this job. So that's actually something that I'm really proud of and very thankful for, to have learned and have experienced with you.
That's good, man, and that'll carry you forward beyond this role, right? It'll carry you forward into your career at large. So, Aaron, man, congratulations to you, to your wife, to your family for making this move. You worked hard, you showed up, you were consistent, and you made the transition, man, from former service background into tech sales. And this is only the beginning for you. So, super honored that I got to work with you. Super excited to see where you're going, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. I'm super thankful for you, your coaching, your friendship, and I look to kind of even learn more things from you moving forward as well.
Awesome. Let's do it, man. Thank you.